What's up, everybody? This is Big Elbow doing my first comic book haul. Uh, Chilling my boys Averno, Atlantis, and last weekend we went to Sac Con in Sacramento. $5 to get in, lots of cheap comics. All the vendors were cool, making deals. That's what I look for. I don't really go looking for keys too much. I try and get uh, runs by certain creative teams or artists or writers and full story arcs and stuff like that. If I get a key, it's cool. I'm happy, but it's not something I'd really go looking for. I'm gonna break this up into two parts. This is gonna be the first part, which is gonna be the Marvel stuff. And before I get into that, I just want to show these real quick. I took these over there. This is grips number 1 from Silverwolf Comics and grips number 2. I got a little story to tell about these, and I'll save that for the end of the video. I also got a Legion X1 from Silverwolf, and that also features grips in it. If anybody knows about Silverwolf or the black and white independent comics from the late 80s, check it out at the end of the video. I'll tell my little story, and yeah, so if you're not interested, then you could just skip that part. No, don't watch the very end. Now I'll get into the Marvel stuff. I got this Invaders number 0. I already had a couple of these, so I want to get the full run. This is a number 0, but it's not actually the beginning of the story. I guess this is part 4 to a Avengers story called Once an Invader. So I'm gonna try and hunt those down. I like these guys. I like the characters. The C.P. Smith art is pretty cool. I always liked U.S. Agent. Thought he was kind of underrated. Union Jack I always thought looked cool. Namor, a big fan. And since I started reading a couple issues, I like this Blazing Skull character. I never really heard anything about him before, but he's been pretty interesting. This is number 2. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. So I'm going to try and get the rest of this run. They're pretty cheap, so I'll pick them up. I like them. And we got some Avengers stuff. I'm a big fan of Joe Casey. I'm trying to get all 8 issues of this Earth's Mightiest Heroes Volume 1. I already have a few of them, most of them actually. So after this number 3 and number 8, I only have like 2 left. So hopefully I can find those at maybe a Bakersfield Con next month. That'd be nice. Like I said, big fan of Joe Casey. Scott Collins, pretty cool. So hopefully I can find the rest of those. This series right here, I don't know much about. I just think the characters look really cool. The Mystery Man. David Liss, I've never heard of. Patrick Zurcher, he's a good enough artist, but I think these characters look really interesting, and I want to learn more about them. If anyone's read this, yeah, and you want to drop some knowledge, do that in the comments. I'd be interested to read it because I have no idea about these guys. There's number 3, number 4, and here's number 5 of 5. I really like this cover. This cover is pretty awesome. So I got all 5 of them in one swoop, so that's cool. I'm gonna have to check these out and see what it's all about. Next, I got some. I've really been feeling Marvel Copper Age stuff, and I've been trying to get the entire. I just call him Ill Bill because I can't say his last name, and he's too awesome for me to be fucking his last name up. Trying to get his full run on the New Mutants. Here's number 21. Here's 22. Here's 23. And this issue has Cloak and Dagger, so that's a plus. Here's 24. Now, I don't know if that's the Demon Bear. I read the first few issues of Ill Bill's run, and that looks like the Demon Bear, so I don't know if the Demon Bear came back. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just Warlock. I don't know. Here's number 28. And since I've been started reading that series, the character Magic has really gotten my attention. It looks like Professor X without a wheelchair. I'm not sure what's going on there. Here's number 30. It's a Secret Wars 2 tie-in. But yeah, Magic has been my favorite character so far. I guess she's Colossus' little sister, which I never knew. But yeah, I'm enjoying learning more about her and what her powers are and how they work and stuff. Here I got Punisher Warzone, number 11. This one has sentimental value because I met a guy who ended up becoming like my best friend and like a brother to me. We were in 6th grade and the teacher used to let us read comics. So he brought some comics and I brought some comics and we ended up trading, and this is one of the comics that he had, and yeah, that's how we met. So it's my boy Isaac, if you're out there watching, love you, brother. This one's for you. And here I have some Punisher Warzone. I'm a big fan of John Romita Jr. And so I'm going to try and get the rest of this run since they're all cheap anyways. And I really like that first issue, that die cut cover with it. He has the 2 Uzis and there's the shells are flying everywhere. And let's see. And here's some more Marvel Copper Age. This is JR on Daredevil. That's 253, and then I jump ahead to 282. Trying to get this whole JR run on Daredevil. It's a big run, but man, you can see like his art is still pretty raw, but he's definitely finding his own style at this point, and I enjoy seeing that a lot. This one says Showdown with Mephisto. That doesn't look like Mephisto to me. I don't know what the hell that is. But there's Silver Surfer. I don't think I've ever seen Silver Surfer and Daredevil interact, so that's pretty interesting. I'm going to have to check that out. And next I got some more JR Thor. I'm trying to get that whole run. Those are all pretty cheap too. This one got Herc in it. And there's something, I don't know, I think I watched that cartoon. It's like from the 60s. It's almost like it's like a Jack Kirby motion comic basically. But ever since I seen that, there's some kick I get out of seeing Thor getting his ass kicked by Hercules. It's kind of weird because I like Thor too, so I don't know why I enjoy it so much. But yeah, that's a pretty cool little cartoon. That was number 7. This is number 23. Thor and Thanos. That's going to be pretty awesome. I'm going to check that out. That's 22. Here's 23. More cosmic shit going on. Here's Thor number 25. With that 90s foil going on. That's just an awesome cover. So yeah, I'm trying to fill up that whole John Romita Jr. run on Thor. Those are all pretty cheap too, so hopefully I can get them all. This is not John Romita Jr., but Eric Larson on Thor, which just seems like an odd fit, but I like Eric Larson, so I'm gonna check it out. Just a random one. I doubt I'll get all of his issues that he did, but you know, it was cheap, so I was like, fuck it, why not? Here's a couple randoms. This is Cable. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Joe Casey. I thought this was actually the one with by Joe Casey and that guy that draws Elephant Man. I forget his name, but it's not. It's early Stephen Platt, which is, you know, that's cool enough in itself. If I find these Joe Casey Cable books, I'm just gonna pick them up as long as they're cheap. Here I got an Iron Man number 41, and I just picked this up because Karen Grant art. I like his stuff. I hardly see him doing any comics anymore, so whenever I see him doing some comics, I'm just gonna pick him up. Big fan of his style, especially back then. And then this is the only newer comic that I picked up, Power Man Iron Fist number 2. I heard it's a good series. I'm loving Luke Cage on Netflix right now. But yeah, that's the only new one I got. I heard the series is good. This is number 2. Check it out. If I like it, you know, maybe I can find some more. And that's it for the Marvel stuff. So, like I said, these are the issues of the Silverwolf stuff that I got. Um, when I was a kid, I went to visit my mom in Sunnyvale. I'm from a small town in Central California, and down here we didn't even have any comic book stores. I was in about fourth or fifth grade. We would go to visit my mom. She lives in Sunnyvale or around that area. And they had a comic book store. That was cool enough in itself. Anyways, all I had ever really read was Marvel and DC. You know, it was all pretty tame, pretty PG stuff. And we bought this book right here, Grips #2, Tim Vigil from Silverwolf Comics. And man, this shit blew my mind. Just, I mean, all the blood and guts and the cussing and, you know, dudes getting their dicks cut off and this crazy shit, man. It just changed my outlook on comics and opened my eyes to the independent stuff. We also bought Ninja Turtles around that time. My brother got the first Raphael. Anyways, my brother, he don't really care about comics too much anymore, so earlier this year he actually gave me this, like I said, this is the first one that we bought, and we liked it so much, my brother ended up buying the #1 off the wall. So he paid like $15, which is a lot of money, especially back then to us, you know. But yeah, he gave it to me. I took it to talk to Tim Vigil. He was a real cool guy, man. He signed this one. He signed both of them for me. These are the original issues I had. This one, Legion X1 by Brandon McKinney. I didn't even know Brandon McKinney was going to be there. Otherwise, I would have took my original copy of Legion X1 and asked him to sign it. So I actually found an issue in one of the bins and took it to him, got it signed. I talked to him for a while. He was real cool too, man. He was telling me that he was in high school when he drew this shit, and I was like, man, that's crazy, because I think he was one of the better artists on those independent black and white comics back then. To think that he was just a kid at the time was pretty wild. So anyways, also, you know, one of the things too, like I said, I had only read Marvel and DC, and you know, Marvel's always in New York. DC's in Metropolis, Gotham, Star City, and all these other, you know, make believe cities. This is actually set in Sacramento, and I thought that was cool even as a kid. Like, hey, this is actually in California. And later on, you know, down the line, it's even cooler that I actually got it signed in Sacramento. And yeah, so anyways, that's it for part 1. I'll probably get part 2 up in a couple of days. If you want to hit the like or subscribe buttons, I appreciate it, man. Any comments you want to leave, it's all good. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you next time.